Anyone there yet? Oh, cool. Right. Hello, everyone. Let me just share. You know what I did last time? I shared on Facebook. I'm going live. Right. Post to Facebook. And now Twitter. So some of you will join me soon, I think. Have I? Oh, I tweeted it. Okay. Hello, Julian. Hello. Hi, Steve. How are you? Welcome. Welcome to this live stream. Thanks for joining. And Neptune. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Neptune returns. Hope you're not too drunk. I'm just sticking to the quiet. I'm sticking to the usual stuff. Hello, me. Oh, thanks, Steve. You anticipated my next question. Hello, V8 Mose. How are you all? I hope you've had a nice few days. You can. Great. Oh, brilliant. Crafty Nihilist. Hello, Liz and Mark. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Thanks for being here. Much appreciated. Yeah, I think I've freaked a few people out in my last video. Hello, Israel Dio Rivera, Eugenio Lucentius Genius. How are you? Yes, I thought you'd say that. Yay, make America great again. Yeah, I'm paying my homage to the God Emperor tonight. Yes, indeed. Thanks, Neptune. Israel Diego Rivera's got right into it. Fake Brexit. He or she, I think it's a he. He jumped straight into it. Hello, Vanya. How are you? Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us, lovely man. Oh, thank you. All right. And so is anyone else coming? Is that it? I know a few people will join us as in the next short while. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my notes. I've got a little lead off to read, and then I'll take your questions. Now, hello, Raven. Raven Precept is here. How are you, Raven? And DJ B2. Hi. A lot of familiar names I can see. That's really cool. I've got this T-shirt on today. Extraterrestrial Highway. That's good. Hi, Jason. How are you? And Corinthian Dog. Greetings. There's a lot of people here tonight. Okay, right. Excuse me. Now, interestingly, I watched that video with Richard Dolan interviewing Gary McKinnon, and it was very good. And I read it, I watched it, and I thought, that's pretty good. And I thought, I'm really flattered that people actually, they actually stood this video up for me to watch me live, because we were both live at the same time. And of course, both our streams are recorded, so you can watch one live and one recorded. And a lot of you I know chose to watch me live and Dolan recorded, which is really, really cool. Right then, so a little bit of an update from the last live stream, which of course was on Wednesday evening. On Thursday, I was away. I was actually filming a video for Panamo TV. It's actually I went to a meeting of Extinction Rebellion, and the video I'm just editing now and it'll be uploaded soon, hopefully in the next couple of days. But while I was away, a lot happened, so I thought I'd do this live stream to catch up on everything that's gone on. Well, the vote on Thursday evening was whether or not to ask the EU to delay Brexit. The MPs voted 413 to 202. Again, a majority of 211. A vast majority of MPs wanted a delay to Brexit. But the thing is, it's not our decision. We can put a motion forward in Parliament, but we can't delay Brexit without the permission of the European Union. If the EU give the permission, then we will not be leaving on the 29th of March. That will not be Brexit Day, as was previously planned. At the moment, the default position is that's Brexit Day. Mrs. May, what she wants to do, Theresa May, is that she wants to delay Brexit by 3 months. That's to the 30th of June. If MPs back her deal in a vote next week, she's actually going to put forward her deal again for a vote. Her deal has been rejected twice. The first time by a massive defeat. The biggest government defeat since 1922. The second one was last week, as I reported on the previous live stream, and again it was rejected by a significant margin, slightly shorter, but still not a major deal. She's now trying to get the Democratic Unionist Party, her coalition partners, on side. If she can't, then they're not actually even going to suggest present the deal. If they reject the deal, she's then going to seek a longer extension, so it may go on beyond June the 30th. I got a feeling it's like I saw a meme of an old sort of zombie, and she's saying it's 2069 and Theresa May's requesting another delay to Brexit. The crux of it is, though, the delay has to be agreed by the 27 other EU member states. And as I explained in the previous video, I suspect that within Brussels, they have a different strategy to the elite that's in Britain. They actually divided over this. And what they plan to do is to withdraw to a fallback position to save the European Union from destruction. It won't work, but they're going to try it. And this fallback position will be basically letting Britain go and working to save the remaining member states. Now, the thing about it is the EU is doomed anyway, and if Brexit is cancelled, it's going to fall apart even quicker, and they know that. They're trying to save it. Now, what's interesting is most Conservative MPs voted against delaying Brexit, including 7 cabinet members, meaning that Theresa May had to rely on Labour and other opposition votes to get it through. I mean, goodness me, is she going to survive another vote of no confidence? Some Labour frontbenchers resigned to defy party orders to abstain on the vote. Shadow Housing Minister Yvonne Fauvargue, Shadow Education Minister Emma Lewell-Buck, Shadow Business Minister Judge Justin Madders, Rachel Smith, a Shadow Ministerial Aide, and Labour Whip Stephanie Peacock all quit their roles to oppose, to go against the abstention. Theresa May, who has long insisted that the UK will leave the EU on 29th of March, with or without a withdrawal deal, voted to delay Brexit. Oh, my goodness me. I mean, she actually went back on her promise, of course. She had been forced to offer MPs a vote on delaying Brexit after they rejected her withdrawal agreement by a large margin for a second time, and then voted to reject a no-deal Brexit. Oh, God. That was an absolute nightmare, that was. As I explained in the previous live stream, the way this no-deal Brexit motion went through was very suspicious, I thought. She has warned that extending the departure date beyond 3 months could actually harm trust in democracy. You don't say. Duh! And also mean that the UK would have to take part in May's European parliamentary elections. I wonder what sort of turnout there's going to be for them. Downing Street said the government was still preparing for a no-deal Brexit. Yeah, really, like hell. Theresa May is planning to hold another meaningful vote on her withdrawal deal by Wednesday, after it was overwhelmingly rejected the 2 previous occasions. Third time lucky, Theresa. Yeah, go for it. If she wins that vote, she will ask for a one-off extension to Brexit to get the necessary legislation through Parliament at an EU summit on Thursday. If not, she could ask for a longer extension. So if we accept her deal, there's going to be a delay. If we don't accept the deal, there's going to be a longer delay. A spokesman for the European Commission said extending Article 50, the mechanism of taking the UK out of the EU on 29th of March, would need the unanimous agreement of all EU member states, and it would be for the leaders of those states to consider such a request, giving priority to the need to ensure the functioning of the EU institutions and taking into account the reason for and the duration of a possible extension. That's a very interesting statement, because they're basically saying that the EU is actually getting cold feet over this whole thing about keeping Britain in. And that you can see some of them are like showing us the door. They're handing us our hat. It says it's still technically possible that we could leave the EU at the end of the month. The law has not changed. But politically, that is now almost entirely out of reach. Well, that seems to be a bit of a contradiction, because the EU itself is actually saying that they do want us out by the 29th. The Prime Minister accepting she will miss one of the biggest targets she's ever set herself. Is that a joke? Now, tonight's vote is awkward for another reason, as it again displays the Conservatives' fundamental divisions. And it's absolutely true, isn't it? I mean, bipartisan party politics, or the lack of bipartisan party politics, has broken down. The two-party system is essentially in disarray now, and everyone is just... all the members of the House of Commons are simply... they're simply running around as individuals in chaos. You know, Theresa May siding with Labour siding with this. Labour have split. There's this independent group. Oh man, it's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. This is more than just a quarrel among friends, but a party that is split down the middle on one of the most vital questions that this administration has ever posed, with cabinet ministers as well as backbench Brexiteers lining up to disagree with Theresa May. Oh my goodness me! You see what I mean? There's no way that there's no spin doctor that can get them out of this. There really is not. This is why we can't lose this one. This is why it's actually quite good. This situation is pretty good, and I don't see any way out that doesn't benefit us, quite frankly. Downing Street said that this was a natural consequence of Mrs May's decision to offer a free vote on an issue where there are strong views on all sides of the debate. What do you mean a natural consequence? She knows damn well that people will defy the whip. This has happened on almost all these votes. I mean, there's ministers resigning because if the ministers actually go against the whip, then they have to quit. And they're doing so quite brazenly. Chief Secretary to the Treasury, Liz Truss, tweeted, "I voted against the delay to Brexit. Good. As a delay was passed by Parliament, I want to see a deal agreed ASAP so we can minimise the short technical extension." Right, so that's basically saying she's going to go for the 3-month delay. 7 cabinet ministers, Ms Truss, Brexit Secretary Stephen Barclay, International Trade Secretary Liam Fox, International Development Secretary Penny Mordaunt, Commons Leader Andrea Leadsom, Transport Secretary Chris Grayling, Defence Secretary Gavin Williamson voted against the government motion. God, my goodness me, see? Health Secretary Matthew Hancock said it's still possible to deliver Brexit on the 29th of March. Yes, but it won't be their decision. It'll be Brussels, the decision of the EU Commission. Health Secretary Matthew Hancock said, it will be extremely difficult, extremely difficult, but still possible. Not really. It'd be very easy if the EU states, I don't know if it's actually the Commission or the actual member state leaders, if they say no, then we can't have Brexit on the 29th. So we can have Brexit. We will go out on the 29th. And what's more, some of them, I mean, Macron, that little globalist, soy-fed gimp, is already saying he's going to vote against it. And it says here, to vote for the deal and leave in an orderly way or a long delay, I think would be a disaster. MPs earlier rejected attempts to secure another Brexit referendum by 334 votes to 85. That's interesting. They had a vote for another Brexit referendum. Now, this is likely no deal thing. This is a motion. It's a parliamentary motion. It's not law. It's not attempting to put in a second Brexit referendum act, which would be like the first EU referendum act, which means it would have to be presented as a bill, be accepted by the House of Commons and accepted by the House of Lords. That hasn't happened. This is very interesting because it almost contradicts everything else they're doing because they are actually now against a second referendum. 334 votes to 85. Well, firstly, what's interesting about that is it is an overwhelming defeat, but look at the numbers. Add up 334 to 85. There were several hundred abstentions. But so they could still have a second referendum. I mean, that's not off the cards, especially if there's a long delay. They also rejected cross-party plans to allow MPs to take control of the Brexit process to hold a series of votes on the next steps by a narrow margin of 2 votes. Okay. Following the votes, Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn reiterated his support for a further referendum after early ordering his MPs not to vote for one. Oh, man. What is he doing, man? He's really signalling to his new core voters, isn't he? So as I said in the last live stream, he says it's an option to break the deadlock. No, it's not. Where are we? He says, I reiterate my support for a people's vote. But why do they keep calling it a people's vote? Was the 2016 referendum not a people's vote? Labour abstained when MPs voted on the referendum proposal tabled by independent group MP Sarah Wollaston, arguing that now is not the right time to push for a public vote. Oh, I see. So that's where the abstentions come from. Here we are. But 17 Labour MPs defied party orders and voted to oppose another referendum. 24 voted in favour of one. I bet Diane Abbott was one of those. And David Lammy, a prick. Among the front bench to quit on this was Mrs. Peacock. I resigned from Labour's front bench, she says, because I believe we should respect the result of the 2016 vote to leave the European Union. Well, thank you very much, Miss Peacock. I'm glad somebody's actually saying that. Labour's plan to delay Brexit to allow parliamentary time for MPs to find a majority for a different approach was defeated by 318 to 302 votes. I mean, how much time are you going to need? Is time enough to make people change their minds? Anyway, here's the Brussels' position on everything. In contrast to the sound of fury coming out of Westminster on Thursday night, the silence on EU leaders' Twitter accounts was deafening. In part, it is surely a stunned silence. Europe's politicians gaze open-mouthed at the maelstrom of division and chaos currently whirling through the House of Commons. 3 years after the UK voted to leave the EU, 2 weeks before the official Brexit day, Parliament appears to be in meltdown with no unifying solution in sight. The EU politicians breathe deep, shuddering sighs at the thought of prolonging the cross-channel agony of the Brexit process. So will they or won't they agree to an extension? What conditions could they demand, and how long would Brexit be delayed by? No one knows. Earlier this week, a number of EU leaders, including France's Emmanuel Macron, Mark Rutte of the Netherlands, and Spain's Pedro Sanchez, sounded pretty hard line. They wouldn't agree to delay Brexit unless the Prime Minister came up with a very good reason. EU leaders are frustrated, irritated, and fatigued by the Brexit process, but it's also worth bearing in mind that they have 2 specific audiences in mind, 3 days when they take to the cameras. UK MPs whom the EU wishes to pressure into voting for Theresa May's negotiated deal or something else Brussels believes to be realistic. EU citizens about to cast their ballot in the upcoming elections on the European Parliament. The EU's intended message to them: we're tough on those who mess with our club, so don't vote for Eurosceptic nationalists like Marine Le Pen. Well, if people see Brexit being delayed or being dragged on and to be cancelled, and being dragged on and on and on till it loses energy, they're going to vote for Eurosceptic nationalists. Okay, they're going to see this happening. If they want to prevent that happening in the EU elections, then if I was in the EU, I would just let Britain go. Insist that we leave on the 29th. Then you could be saying, look, there is a way out for you in this. This European Union has a way out. It may not be what they want, but it's their fallback position because not everything's going their way, like I said. EU leaders' silence after Thursday's vote by the House of Commons to delay Brexit may also have been because they realise, whatever their individual opinions on an extension, they are obliged by law to come to a unanimous decision, and they won't reach that decision until they're all stuck in a room together, which they will be at the EU summit in a week's time. In the meantime, former UK Independence Party leader Nigel Farage says he's lobbying the countries to make sure at least one of them vetoes a Brexit delay. But that rather overplays Mr. Farage's power to influence European governments. His claim is little more than a publicity stunt. That bloke is one walking publicity stunt, I'll tell you. The EU's final decision of an extension will be dictated by political and economic self-interest. Delaying Brexit will prolong the uncertainty for European businesses and citizens and ensure that the issue continues to hang over EU affairs. Yeah. But EU leaders don't want to be blamed by their votes for a costly no-deal Brexit either. An extension might avoid that. So tough talk aside, realpolitik is likely to win the day. It could be a longer-term extension favoured by the European Council President Donald Tusk in order to give the UK time for a rethink. He means he's probably one of these that wants to try and get the second referendum through and cancel Brexit. On a shorter extension, if Mrs May can show next week that she's close to Parliament approving her deal, EU leaders will probably say yes to a Brexit extension, even if it's through gritted teeth, or they may decide not to take a final decision next week. If they don't take one next week, that leaves just 1 week to go. So the situation is we're still due to leave on the 29th. There are 2 ways we can leave, with or without a deal. Theresa May's deal has been rejected twice by Parliament. What's going to happen the third time, we don't know, if there isn't a third time. In which case, if the EU say go, we go without a deal. MPs have voted in favour of a delay. Yeah, any delay has to be approved by the EU. How long the delay depends on the deal, whether the deal is accepted by UK MPs. If it's accepted, the delay will be short, just 3 months. If it's rejected again, it will be longer. A no deal is not off the table, and I think that is possible. We might get a no deal walkaway on the 29th. That is possible. I think it's a distinct possibility. That's the ideal. That's the best thing that could happen. If there's a delay, the UK will have to take part in European parliamentary elections. Not necessarily. It has to, but there's some lawyers who disagree. They say that the new EU Parliament will not meet till the 2nd of July. So an extension until the end of June would be okay without having to take part in elections. Another referendum is possible. Yeah, that is possible. And another general election is possible. Theresa May could ask MPs to vote in favour of calling an early election, and 2/3 of all MPs would need to back it. Or Labour could table another motion of no confidence in Mrs May's government, like it did in January when it was rejected. Could Brexit be cancelled? Here we go. Yeah. Revoking or cancelling Brexit is not really on the agenda at the moment. It's likely that a major event such as a further referendum or change of government would have to happen before such a move. Well, what do you reckon that's going to happen? What do you reckon? Wouldn't surprise me at all if that actually does happen. Okay, I just got to add something to my notes, which I didn't put in the first time. Here we go. Let me just get rid of this. I've just got to make a slight editing of my notes. Won't be a second. Paste special unformatted text. Now, Theresa May's deal. I mean, the thing is, like, I don't know if how many of you watched Sargon of Akkad? Sargon of Akkad did a really good video about Theresa May's deal, and it's awful. I mean, I can't blame any MP voting against the deal, because the deal is awful. It means we have to pay the EU £39 billion over a 3-year period, and they maintain control of our economy through the central bank, for the European Central Bank. Also, it's especially bad for people in Northern Ireland, because it turns the Northern Ireland into effectively a non-sovereign province of the European Union for as long as 3 years and possibly longer. There's no. It's called the backstop plan. There's no sunset clause on that particular period. So people in Northern Ireland will be in complete limbo, possibly indefinitely. As I said before, it's an artificial problem. There's no reason why the Northern Ireland border should be a problem. They're making it into one deliberately. So what's going to happen next? Well, there's been a bit of a development that's a bit concerns me. The 29th of March is still officially the day Britain leaves the EU, but that could change, as I said. But something else is happening that very same day. A military exercise is beginning. Exercise Joint Warrior. This is biannual. It happens anyway every 6 months. It takes place in northern Scotland. It's been undertaken every 6 months since the end of World War II, and it involves over 10,000 troops, 35 warships, 5 submarines, and several hundred aircraft from 13 nations. It's centred in northern Scotland as usual, but the whole UK will be affected this time. And air bases in England will be operational for it, such as RAF Bryce Norton, which is just a few miles from me. Exercise Joint Warrior is due to last until mid-April. That's about 2 weeks. And that's obviously it's something that happens regularly, but its timing is very interesting. And the fact that it is more extensive than usual, it's actually going to be operating in England as well. Could this exercise go live? That's my concern. Now, what I mean is there's a precedent for this. In 2001, the US invasion of Afghanistan. Now, this was only achieved so quickly because the forces were already deployed forward to the Middle East. They were deployed there for a huge exercise. Oddly enough, some of the soldiers reported that even though they were going to a hot desert location, they were ordered to pack warm winter clothes and snowsuits, white camouflage, snow camouflage suits. So that's very odd. What happened was they were on this exercise in the Middle East. Then 9/11 went down, and they were already there in a position to strike. Just a coincidence, nothing to worry about, as David Icke would say. Now, what I'm saying is, could the same happen again? Would these troops be used, for example, in an invasion or a coup d'etat by the EU? Now, this is a very, very alarming situation. But are they that desperate to solve the Brexit situation? Is the Brexit situation that chaotic and that unacceptable that they would actually take such drastic means? Yes, they would. They will do it. I mean, there's a very good book, actually, and it was made into a TV series called A Very British Coup, written by an MP, Chris Mullin, and it's very, very interesting indeed. Slightly different political situation, but it still means that when things get really, really tight, when they're cornered like a rat, they will fight in really, really extreme ways. Now, this has happened before. In November 1990, they removed the sitting Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher, through an extra political process. Do you remember Mrs. Thatcher, the Iron Lady? Turns out she was just a paper dolly. She was removed with terrifying ease by members of her own party. Now, that was a coup by every definition of the word. But this time the takeover of the power might not be so bloodless. So we must stay vigilant. We must be ready to speak out and act when the time comes. There are other possibilities, though. This could be good news, could be a good thing, if the troops are working for the good guys that QAnon talks about, and they've come to rid the country of the occupying globalists. That's another possibility. I hope that's the one. Or they may be needed to respond to a false flag event, because it's. Don't be surprised if in the next couple of weeks to couple of months something happens. It may be another Joe Cox style killing. Joe Cox, whether she was killed or not, I don't know. It certainly wasn't. I don't believe the guy they've got in jail did it. It could be something even more extreme, some kind of false flag terrorist attack, etc., etc. So that's another possibility. But even whatever it will be there to distract. To what's the word Tony Blair used? The pieces are in flux. Let us remake the world. When the kaleidoscope is shaken and the pieces are in flux, let us remake the world after they settle. It could be something like that. When they're that desperate, they'll do it. So don't be surprised if something pretty awful happens in the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months, depending on what happens with the EU situation. So that's the situation we're in now. Some of you posted comments on the video, the notice video that I made. I'll just go through them. And Christopher Morland asked me, what is your opinion of the Christchurch, New Zealand shootings, Ben? Now, this is something several people have asked me to comment on this, and in fact, I did. I did a segment in this week's Third Rail Radio, so you need to go to Hapanmo Radio and listen to that. That's hapanmo-radio.blogspot.co.uk. And I know there's a lot of compartmentalization here, because a lot of people who watch Hapanmo TV don't listen to Hapanmo Radio and vice versa. But I've done a segment in this week's Third Rail Radio about this incident in New Zealand. I mean, it's all I can say. I mean, I don't want to go into details here because it's a big, complicated subject, and I do so in that show. But for people watching in New Zealand, and I know there are people who watch Hapanmo TV in New Zealand, all I can say is deepest condolences. I'm really sorry this happened. It was a horrible thing. And so I offer you my sympathy, especially the relatives of the loved ones and the friends and family of those who were killed. I'm very sorry that happened. Some people have been suggesting to me that it's a false flag operation, that it's fake. I've actually not seen any evidence to suggest that this is anything other than it appears to be. I go into more details, as I say, in Hapanmo Radio today. But obviously, if evidence comes to light, I will examine that evidence. But at the moment, it looks like exactly what it was. It was a lone gunman operating independently who carried out this attack for his own personal reasons. He walked into these mosques, he shot the place up. It was a terrible atrocity. It was a terrible thing. And he doesn't appear to have any connections to anyone else. It was real, I think. Someone said it was an energy weapon that killed them. So this is Budzio. This is all a big conspiracy to take people's bang sticks, which stops the NWO from taking over the world, even though the NWO has taken over the world, and that's why the real truth can never get out. Yeah, I think you're being a bit sarcastic, Budzio. Of course, the gun control issue is going to be attached to any of these events. But I don't. Again, I think this. If the gun control people are moving in on this, such as the Prime Minister of New Zealand, whatever her name is, then it's an opportunistic event. It's an opportunistic move. It's not something they created. Mel O'Brien has suggested a song, Bedtime for Democracy by the Dead Kennedys. I've not heard that one. I've heard the Dead Kennedys before, and they're quite good. I've not heard this one. So we'll check it up. Now, Videos from the Underground says, this means that Brexit people have to ramp up the opposition to the EU, make it twice as strong as before, and it means not being afraid to stand out or talk to people about this. Quite so videos from the underground, yeah. Talking to those people in the middle of mostly national sovereignty is at stake and keeping the New World Order locked in its cage. There will be all kinds of propaganda and misrepresentation going on. Resist. Yes, definitely. Israel Diego Rivera says, Brexit is fake, just like Trump. Now your lover Trump supports Britain in Europe. Oh. What, you call him my lover? Oh, dearie me. It's anything other than actually a rational case, Diego, isn't it? Always the case. Theresa May not, said Neptune Returns. Basically, the way I feel it is, it's like there's we're in a corridor and there's lots of doors leading off the corridor, and we're going towards each door, and each time the door we approach the door, it slams in our face. And we're going down the corridor, another door slams in our face. There's just one door at the end that's left open and is staying open, and that is cancel Brexit. That's how it feels to me. That's how it feels it's going to be. Now I've got something. I've just got a link now. I've put a link in my notes. Let's have a look. I'm just going to share it. I didn't share this on Google Plus, did I? Did I? No, I can't share it on Google Plus. Maybe it just happens automatically. Anyway, here we go. What's this? The Times. EU will agree to extra time if there is a second Brexit referendum. Oh my God. The Prime Minister has been told by senior EU officials and other European leaders that conditions for an extension to the Article 50 exit process would include the option of a second vote on the EU membership. There you are. Game, set, and match. My God. Anyway, guys, let's have a look at your. Let's have a look at who's here. All right. So, Julian Carver, you watched Dolan today with Gary. It was very good, wasn't it? Richard Dolan and Gary McKinnon. MAGA, says Jock of Ages. Crafty Nihilist, you watched the Bob Lazar documentary last night. What did you think of it, Crafty Nihilist? Because I've done a live stream on it, if you remember. Did you enjoy it? Corinthian Dog says NPC MPs. Yes, they are bloody NPCs. You have to be an NPC to be an MP, it seems. Steve-O71, no vote if UKIP won't back it. No, UDP, sorry, yeah. No, exactly. They're trying to get the DUP, you mean? Yeah, the DUP, they're trying to get them on side. There's been talk all weekend about getting the DUP on side, yeah. And there's even some rumours they're being paid. These guys are being paid. These MPs. It's just 10 MPs that are basically keeping Theresa May in power. And, yeah, it's possible they're going to be bribed. I think that seems quite likely. He says he did not rule out a financial settlement for Northern Ireland if the DUP backed the deal, meaning probably a settlement in their pockets, probably something like that. Stephen, homeless truth seeker. Hi, Stephen. May has now betrayed the British people. She bloody well has, hasn't she? Diego Rivera says, you have been blocked. Who, me? Oh, right. Diego Rivera is having problems. This live stream keeps stopping. I don't know if anyone else is having that issue. It seems to be working all right from what I can see. Braven Precept says referendums can't work in our type of democracy. What the people want and what the politicians want is not the same. You can say that again, yeah. Referendums are used usually to the government's advantage. If they think they've got a... This is what David Cameron misjudged that situation because he thought he could get a referendum on the EU and win. And then that'll be the end of it. Basically, that'll be it. Once we had a referendum and it said that we're staying in the EU, that's it. It's over. I mean, Diego, if there's City of London behind Brexit, no, it's not. You said this last time, Diego. Corinthian Dog, Con Lab Con, two cheeks of the same arse. Exactly. Unite Planet. Hi, Unite Planet. How are you? Hey, it's nice to see you, guys. Nice to see you. Is that from Paul? Oh, hi, Paul. How are you? Good to see you. Diego Rivera says YouTube blocking time searches for the last 2 days. Yeah, YouTube is playing up really badly. Everything, the recording of this will be uploaded to BitChute because you can't trust YouTube anymore. Steve-071, May is performing the act of the insane, trying the same thing over, hoping for a different outcome. Yeah, I mean, why is she doing it? That's the question. I think either she's been told something behind the scenes, or she has literally lost her mind. And maybe she'll shapeshift or something in Parliament. That'd be great. Hi, Anthony Morn. Diego Rivera has... So Diego Rivera, is it working now? Diego Rivera says, due to emu land shooting. I think you mean Kiwi land shootings. Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't seem to be have any bearing on Brexit. Although the guy who did the shooting, actually, he published this thing called The Great Replacement, which was his statement, a long document. And he says he supports Brexit. So that's another reason to demonize Brexit voters, because apparently he likes Trump as well, which means if you wear a hat like this and if you support Brexit, then you approve of this guy who went and shot dead 50 people in a mosque or 2 mosques. You see, there's a linking the two together. And I mean, I don't think that was his intention. As I said, it wasn't set up that way. But no doubt the people, the pro-EU people, will exploit it in that way. Neptune returns. I was watching Liz Crockin's new video just now. She says arrests are happening. I mean, is she better now? Because I know she hurt herself. Neptune returns. But that would be great. I mean, if this is the QAnon stuff coming out, fantastic. Corinthian Dog says, sorry, my nose is itching. Democracy in action. In action, yes. Just all one word. Diego Rivera says, search. Corinthian Dog. Orban and Salvini can veto it. Yeah, and I think they will. They've got some good guys, actually, in Eastern Europe, especially, in Austria, in Hungary, and in Italy too. This is why I think the EU is doomed. The EU is finished. I mean, the Ramonas will keep saying Britain has to stay in the EU, and eventually Britain will be the only country in the EU. And when that happens, you simply change the name of the EU to Great Britain. But yeah, it's. I think those guys will sort it out. Hopefully, if that's the case, then we leave on the 29th without a deal, which will be the ideal situation. See what happens if we accept Theresa May's deal is essentially. I think the reason May's pushing this deal so hard is I think she knows she can't stop us getting out, and I think at some point they're going to have to let us out. But with her deal, it'll just be popping out, popping in again. Because when you leave the EU under Article 50, there's no reason why you can't rejoin. And of course, rejoining will be the easiest thing in the world. There'll be none of these obstacles and spanners in the works you get with the leaving, would there? So I think that might be her plan, because her deal is going to completely screw us. Forget the no-deal Brexit, with the zombies and the dead rising from the grave and Godzilla crushing Tower Bridge and things like that. Okay, that's the no-deal nightmare. Then the ultimate nightmare scenario will be leaving with Theresa May's deal. And I do hope NP's rejected again. Diego Rivera says, YouTube now want to censor live streams due to the Kiwiland shooting. Yeah. Well, that's what they are actually. I mean, you can actually, in New Zealand, it's become illegal to actually watch that footage or upload it or even possess it. Yeah, Neptune turns it's 10 years in jail if you upload shooting footage. I wonder what they're trying to hide. I don't think they're trying to hide anything. From what I can see right now, I don't think they're trying to hide anything. But of course, I'm against that kind of censorship, even for something as horrible as a real-life death video. I mean, I've actually watched it, and I talk more about my experience of watching it on Hapanwo Radio on this week's Third Rail. I'll leave it there. You can go and listen to Third Rail Radio, and I talk in more detail about my own thoughts and feelings as I was watching it. I did read his manifesto as well. Right, here we go. Vanya Patterson says the EU are like an abusive husband you're trying to leave. We just need to leave with our finger up at them and no deal. Fuck them. Precisely, Vanya. Have you seen that that song that's 17 million fuck offs? Have you seen it? It's really funny. It's this comedy song. I bought it on iTunes because everyone's trying to get it to #1. Yeah, but we simply, as Sargon of Akkad says, why don't we just walk away? Any sensible politician with any brain and any balls would actually simply just turn around and say, we're leaving, we're walking away, and we'll sort out everything. We can sort everything out afterwards. You can't let them bully you. I mean, people say, oh, but what about ABC? If we leave without a deal, we're all going to catch super gonorrhea and all kinds of stuff like that. You can't let them bully you like this. Otherwise, if you appease these people, they're just going to do it again, and they're going to do it to other countries, and they're going to do it again and again and again. Israel Diego Rivera says, I saw the footage. It looked fake. Diego, I don't think it is fake. Yeah. And it's on DTube, it is, and it's on a couple of other platforms, but it is being removed bit by bit. I don't. I've watched it once. I don't want to watch it again. Lack of blood looks like a drill video. I don't think it is, Diego. I mean, there is quite a lot of bloodshed, and it's pretty awful. MK Ultra mind control agent. Neptune returns. Honestly, if evidence comes to light that suggests that it is some kind of MK Ultra, he's an MK Ultra guy, and this is some kind of staged event, I'll look at it and I'll accept it, because I know damn well that there are events which are precisely that. There are many events that are precisely that exact thing. And the shooting of John Lennon by Mark David Chapman, that's a perfect example. And he's definitely an MK Ultra. And there's distinct evidence to say he was linked to MK Ultra. But this, I've not seen it so far. John Barry, hi, John Barry. How are you? John Barry 79. Corinthian Dog. Cameron put the witch in to thwart Brexit. Simples. Yes, I think so. I think she was the Mrs. Fix-It, Corinthian Dog. Diego Rivera, now they will censor the internet even more. Well, yeah, I mean, I think they certainly in New Zealand, they're using this as an excuse to bring in more internet censorship. And indeed, this is just a couple of weeks before the porn blocking thing that's happening in this country. I'll probably write an article about this, but they're actually blocking pornography websites to anyone who can't prove their age. So you have to register and use government ID and things like that if you want to watch pornography. Oh dear. So Paul Armstrong. Hi, Paul. They will keep us as close as possible, so it's nice and easy to take us back in. Yeah, in a few years' time. That's if we do leave at all. Yes, Paul, I think they will. I think Theresa May's deal may be a way of doing that, to actually making it giving us a brief Brexit, but then a brief and temporary Brexit. That could be it, yeah. Neptune says the Manchester bombing was fake. Yeah, Neptune, that is one of the things I'm suspicious of. It really is. I mean, I've seen the Rich Planet show on that, and I am suspicious of the Manchester bombing. I really am. Diego Rivera, they're going after live streams. Well, yeah, I mean, this is... there's like a Stream Me website, which I've joined, and I might start doing live streams on there. I might do like a test one, just in case YouTube start blocking live streams. And so I have that, like with BitChute, I've got somewhere else to go. You can't live stream on BitChute, unfortunately. Jennifer Marciano. Hi, Jennifer. Steve-071. What does May think she can achieve in 3 months that she couldn't do in 2 years? Well, this is the thing, Steve. This is what Brussels are essentially saying. They're saying, well, what's the point of giving her an extension if we're going to get to June the 30th and there's no deadlock? Although it says in that article I just read that they may only agree to extension if there's a second referendum, which will be a bloody nightmare. Neptune tells those kids died. Oh, Neil Desperandum. Hi, Neil. Ashish, what's the Rich Planet show about the Manchester bombings? I'm not 100% sure about that, but Anthony Morn, did anyone see the Manchurian candidate who slayed those 49 Muslims? I've got it on video. I don't, Anthony asked, yeah, I don't think, from what I've seen so far, I don't think he's a Manchurian candidate. I really don't. Vanya Patterson says they're delaying it so the DUP can screw as much money out of them. Well, it does look that way. I mean, this financial package for Northern Ireland, well, what does that mean? Where's the money going? Is it going to the people of Northern Ireland, or is it going to the DUP? Ariana Grande, Disney mind control, says Neptune returns. Yeah, have you seen Mark Devlin and what he said about that? Yeah. Okay, what's this? All right, Diego Rivera, I can't. You've posted a link to the video. I'm sorry on DTube, I can't publish that, but people can find it if they want to look at it. Vanya Patterson, is the IRA package bombs anything to do with Brexit? Was it IRA? Those things? I think there's something a bit odd about those incendiary devices. Do you remember? There's something very odd about them because they were very, very minor things. I mean, they weren't going to do any damage. They just sort of like went, they burst into flames. People just dropped them to the ground and stamped them out. Is that the IRA? I mean, there's all kinds of IRA splinter groups now. But I think there may be a connection there, you know, maybe. Corinthian Dog says, Corbyn's never worked a day in his life. And Corbyn is a fool. He really is. Well, he has. I think he's worked. If you call MP and an MP work, then I suppose you could say he's worked. I used to sort of have a grudging respect for him, despite the fact I disagreed with him politically, because I sensed that he was someone with principles, and therefore he wouldn't be able to be corrupted if he was a prime minister. Whereas, as I said, he's surrounded by a second echelon of some of the most despicable people in politics today, specifically Diane Abbott, who's the worst of the lot. And as I said in the previous video, a country ruled by Diane Abbott would be a nightmare, it'd be a disaster. Artography, hi, how you doing? Neptune Returns, IRA bombs MI5. Well, you know Neptune Returns, if you've read that Craig Thomas book, or was it Harry's Game? That was the name. I was trying to think of the name last time. It is based on reality, about the fact that MI5 did infiltrate the IRA, and they were actually involved in IRA attacks. It was rather like Operation Gladio. Neil Desbrandam says, my girlfriend's got what remains of her son back in a box from Manchester. Oh, dear. Right, so I'm sorry, so you actually did lose a child. I'm very sorry about that. Well, in that case, yeah. Obviously, it has to be real. Could you, deepest condolences, obviously, and could you let Richard know, because he's appealing for people with information to come forward. So if you feel up to it, if you and your girlfriend feel up, or your girlfriend's friend, if they feel up to it, could they please contact Richard? I'm very sorry about that. Jennifer says, I have to go. Much love to all of you. Bye, Jennifer. Thank you very much. Anthony Morn says, what differences does it actually make to us? In terms of Brexit, you mean? Well, if it means a lot, because it means that essentially, the New World Order gets a massive kick in the teeth, which I think is going to happen anyway. But it'd be more fun if I think it'd be better if we have Brexit. I think it's a principle of it, you know. Corinthian Dog says, yeah, who cares about NZ? Oh dear, that's mean. That's nasty. That's mean. Sketchy Magpie. Hi, you Sketchy Magpie. We're not going to Brexit. No, we ain't going to Brexit. We're not going to Brexit anymore. You know, they're going to find ways to get out. They may well find a way out of it, you know. Israel Diego Rivera, they will use it for further censorship. Of course. I mean, it could spread elsewhere. Anthony says, you couldn't see much blood because the bodies were piled on top of one another. Yeah. I mean, I've seen people with gunshot wounds, and you don't always get, like, vast amounts of bleeding like you would in the movies. It depends where the people shot. And there was bleeding. I mean, the second time the guy went in, there was lots of people. Some of the bodies were bleeding. Yeah, it was horrific. He actually went back, and because most of the people lying there were dead anyway, but he actually shot them again. He shot all the bodies, gave them a second bullet to make sure. Utterly ruthless he was. Diego Rivera, Brexit is fake, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. Anthony Morn says, fucking right. It's a fucking money-making con, mate. Trust me, that shooting of 49 Muslims really happened. Bit wasn't fake. It wasn't you. I agree, Anthony. I don't think it was fake. If I may be wrong on that, I may be wrong. I'll see. It seems like from what what's his name was saying, Neil Desperandum, who has personal experience of this, then I'm not. The Manchester bombings was real as well. But I'm willing to change my mind based on evidence. Sevo 71. There was supposed to be a Brexit 50p piece already made to commemorate us leaving the EU. Oh man. Oh, I'll have to get one of those. Whether we go in or out, I'd love to. I will. Neptune Returns. I'm on about the Manchester Arena. All right, is that the? Oh, the Manchester Arena. Yeah. Well, I mean, see what Neil Desbrandam has said. Neil Desbrandam has personal experience on this. Corinthian Dog says, one of the 27-year-old leaders can that mofo. When you get them all in a room together, though, I mean, what's going to happen? Will they force it? Will they come to some kind of consensus? That's the problem. They may come to some sort of consensus. Who knows? I hope not. I mean, it only takes one to veto it, but they can, if they all sit around a table and they may all agree on something. Anthony Morn says you can actually see him shoot the woman in the head. Yeah, it did. Is that the woman lying in the gutter? That was horrible. Like, she's calling for help and he shoots her. He's honestly, there's no justification for that. Neptune tells, why can't the UK just leave? Exactly. Why can't they just turn around and walk away? Goodness me. It's so difficult, isn't it? Cosmic Claire. Hi, Claire. Hi, Ben. Looks like a stitch-up. Yep, it is. Diego Rivera. Seen it look fake. Neil Desperando. What happened to the children then, Neptune? Yeah. Neil, as I said, could you contact Rich Planet about that? If your girlfriend's friend really wants to do that, Richard has put out an appeal for information. Diego Rivera. What? Right. Nihilist Lives Matter. Hi, Nihilists. Mars. Article 50 will be extended by 50 years, by which time Europe there will be a new caliphate. No, it's been 50 years to go either one way. There's not going to be a caliphate. That's all part of the plan for the civil war. But there will be either a more authoritarian version of the EU, which will actually link various continental superstates into a world government, which is the two-stage method proposed by Joseph Stalin, of all people, or will be in the post-Illuminati world. One of those two things has to happen. Right. Steve-O71. Exactly. Just tell them to fuck it. Yeah. Anthony didn't see no bombs. Like, I don't think I think he just had some guns. Neptune Return says the UK should just tell the EU to fuck off and just leave. Yeah, we should. That's what a sensible politician would do. That's what a decent leader would do. Corinthian Dog. If I was a terrorist, I'd crash a light aircraft loaded with explosives into a crowd at a cup final match. Well, maybe that's what they've got planned. Maybe that's what's been planned, whether it's a false flag or real. Something might well happen in this country to be related to Brexit. Like I said, be prepared. And those troops, those troops that are in the country from 13 nations, lots of foreign troops in the country right now. Neptune Returns. I saw one picture inside the lobby. Looked like actors lying down. All right, talking about Manchester bombing again. Neptune, I think Neil Desperando, I think we should listen to Neil Desperando on this. Because his girlfriend's friend, I mean, if this is if this happened, then it has to be real. We are all expendable, Crafty Knives. I mean, the Illuminati regard us simply as another species of farm animal, essentially. That's how the Illuminati see us. We are cattle. We are cattle, we are sheep, we are pigs. And then there's cattle, sheep, pigs, and there's humans. I'm very sorry, Neil, about your girlfriend's friend. I really am. And condolences to them. Hi, Winslow. How are you? Luke Griffin said, I would rather they cancel Brexit altogether than be a vassal state. Better be on the inside pissing out than on the outside pissing in. Well, yeah, I think if we get Theresa May's deal, it'll be a disaster because we may well get a temporary Brexit, but it'll be very, very short-lived. So we'd be better off as a member state, staying as a member state, than we would be doing. Because if we stay as a member state, then the EU is going to go into free fall anyway, and then we'll have another. We'll get out then anyway. We'll get out properly then. And when the EU goes down, we'll be able to exit then. If we get Theresa May's deal, we'll have to pay out a massive amount of money. People of Northern Ireland get screwed, and we just end up back in again in a much weaker position. And Crafty Nihilist says, even more terrible if it was for an agenda. Yeah. Vanya Patson, are we keeping you up, Ben, long? Vanya, I just get these. I either get itchy noses or I cough or I yawn when I'm talking for long periods of time. Raven Precept says, good point. Crafty, good point. False flag is what they call a stage shooting where people die. Yeah, I mean, there are false flags. Happens all over the world. Terrible. Yeah. I guess it isn't outside the realm of possibility, says Neil Desperandum. Yeah, I do. However, However, it's possible, but I haven't seen any evidence of that. Pain and Death from the New World Order. Hi, Pain and Death. Hi, Ben. I'm late thanks to shitty Zionist YouTube. Well, it's Zionists and Jews are not the same thing, as I've explained before. Zionists are one thing, Jews are another. Judaism and Zionism are two separate things. YouTube is not... The Jews aren't behind the New World Order. I've done an entire video on that. Diego Rivera says DTube is censored now. Is that the video been blocked from there? It's been removed everywhere. It was actually removed from it was removed from BitChute as well. They can do even on these free speech sites. They can step in and they can get rid of things. Subscribe to PewDiePie, says Raven Precept. Now that's PewDiePie. I feel sorry for him actually, because the guy who did the shooting actually says that on the video. And PewDiePie is now expected to take the blame for it. It's like PewDiePie is now somehow guilty because this nutter with a gun says subscribe to PewDiePie just before he goes in and does his shooting. I think that's incredibly unfair. It's like in his manifesto, he says how much he supports Brexit and he thinks Trump is a good guy. So therefore, Brexiteers like me who wear this hat are therefore evil racists who want to shoot people in mosques. This is the logic. This is the fact. This kind of mud sticks. And it's so unfair. It's so cruel to treat people like that. I feel sorry for PewDiePie now. I really do. Crafty Nice is sad for your friend Neil, especially as it could have been stopped. They knew that it was going to happen if they didn't orchestrate themselves. It's possible it was a real event that was a false flag. Yeah, it is possible. Either way, I don't know what happened there. We'll have to see. Raven Precepts, see how he sets the left onto the right. Yeah. Well, his idea, Raven Precept, was to actually start a war. He wanted to start this war that the Illuminati are trying to start anyway. Minnow-Poo, hi Minnow-Poo, that's a good name. Why are some victims missing? Are they? I don't know. I mean, some of them were interviewed. Some of the survivors or relatives of people who died. It wasn't like Sandy Hook. I mean, with Sandy Hook, they were, you could see that the people were had full smiles and things like that. But these people that were interviewed on New Zealand TV, the relatives of the people who died, they were crying. They were genuinely upset. They really were. Neil Desbrandon, it's tragic. I don't know if it was a false flag or not, but I'm just saying the kids definitely died in it. For what reason? There's a question. You're talking about Manchester now. Yeah. Raven Precept. Video looks real, however, the media have told us a load of lies. They do, yeah. Earth Dog says, Richie Allen did a good show on it today. I've not seen Richie Allen's show. I saw Vinnie Eastwood last night with Ule Damagard. Nothing was that they said on there actually convinced me that it was some kind of false flag. But I think even they are not decided. They were just mulling over the possibilities, which is perfectly correct. Minnow-Poo says, if they have bodies, why don't they know who has been killed? Do you mean are you talking about Christchurch now? They do have bodies. Crafty Eyes makes it even more tragic, yeah. Raven Precept, the man who wrestled the gun from the shooter. I never saw that in the video. Well, the thing is, the second attack on the second mosque was not filmed. The actual live stream cut out as he was driving between the first mosque and the second one. It may have been on the second one. You see, actually, in the first mosque, someone actually does try to tackle him, but he gets shot before he gets very far. I'm just going to go up a bit. All right, I'm just going to... So it flicked to the bottom, so I've got to find out where I was. So where did I got to? Richie Allen, yeah. I don't think it's the man who wrestled. Yeah, there's someone in the first mosque actually tried to tackle the guy with a gun, and he gets shot before he manages it. I remember that from the video. Pain and Death says, Israel, I have seen the video too. It looks fake as fuck. Do you reckon? I don't think no blood, says Pain and Death. There is some blood in it. Anthony Moore, nobody wrestles the gun off him. He went berserk, man. Why are people missing BS, says Minnow Poo? Are there people missing? I thought they released a full list. They may not. See if they release a full list of people. They may need to contact some relatives first. Yeah, that's right, Raven Priest. He goes back into the building the second time, and there was a man who was one body that's bleeding badly. Diego Rivera, Brexit fake, Trump fake, Kiwi land fake. No, none of those things are fake. Neil Desbrown says the man who runs at the gunman, I think he was trying to escape past him perhaps, but the gunman was too fast and shot him. It may be, Neil, yeah, it may be that he was trying just to escape. Raven Priest, he was not berserk, quite matter of fact in his work. He was very calm and collected. He'd been planning this for a year. Stephen Homer's Truth Seeker, best of 3 or 5. Manchester drill shooting. Look up Manchester drill shooting, says Diego Rivera. Hunley. Hi, Hunley. How are you? That's why you have to run down it singing, I'm a sexy, sexy sausage. I don't know what you mean, Hunley. How are you anyway? Anthony Morn, the whole of the flat earth is fake. Do you mean the earth is not flat? No. Neil Desperado, the gunman dropped his magazines after shooting. He said he failed because of this, something like that. He said, I left it. He does mention at some point he leaves a magazine. Yeah. He's sort of talking to himself. He is very matter of fact, very cold, very calculating, young. Steve Neptune Return says, according to Gemma O'Doherty, 39 Christians were massacred in Nigeria last week, but no media coverage. Yeah, it was actually more than that. It was actually, it came to a couple of thousand. The Boko Haram people attacked an entire town of Christians in Nigeria, and some say it was they were motivated by the shooting in New Zealand. It was actually a form of revenge, but there's been no media coverage of that. No. Minnow Poo, sorry, can't stand the wankers. Anthony, the earth is round, as you and I know. Pain and death. Flat, says Raven Precept. Oh, my goodness. Alchemy 432. Hello. He says, that twat Miles Johnston fucking banned me from speaking on his live stream, the wanker. But I don't know why that is. Miles is usually pretty easy with people. Diego Rivera, the earth is a sphere, yes. Hunley, the earth is shaped like a tangerine. Yes, it is. Corinthian dog, POMPs must toe the line or be exposed. Well, they should be locked up in the deepest dungeons. Crafty Nice, the Bob Lazar film was really good, very genuine. Didn't really understand Mickey Rourke's poetic voiceover, though. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it didn't go into the background of it all. It always assumes that you know already who Bob Lazar is and know his basic story. But it's sort of a good update, I thought. Neptune returns. Flat is crap. Yeah, flat, says Raven Priest. No, the earth is not flat. Diego Rivera, Alex Jones, Joe Rogan, Trump, all Mossad. Ali G, Mossad. Cosmic Claire. Diego is a contrarian troll. He is a bit, isn't he? Yeah. Julian Carver. Yes, Dolan with Gary was good. It's always good to hear from Gary. He's clearly nervous about discussion on the subject. Yeah, I met Gary McKinnon. He was at UFO Truth. He's a nice chap. Vrillon Aura. Hi, Vrillon. YouTube, EU shills. Stephen Holmes, True Seeker. YouTube are missing from my playlists again. Diego Rivera, Mossad Claire. So Claire's in Mossad too. Oh my God. Who's not in Mossad? Pain and Death. Explain the sunrise and sunset flat earth. Oh my God. Vrillon Aura, Brexit caused it. Oh. I'm glad. I'm sure they will blame it on Brexit. They will. Rob Hull from Emu Land, said Corinthian Dog. I think you mean Kiwis. But he was an emu, wasn't he? Yeah. Rod Hull, an emu, yeah. Neptune returns. Everyone is Mossad except Diego Rivera, yes. Cosmic Claire. We're all deplorables. Yes, we are. I've got the hat now, you see. A basket of deplorables, as Hillary Clinton says. And she's not running as president now, which is quite good. Hunley, it's the rise of the black pills. Vrillon Aura, yes. Yet he lived at the Pink Windmill. Alchemy, who's shagging 3 ladies at the moment? One redhead, one black, and on Sicilian. I don't know. Got no idea. Not me, unfortunately. Raven Precept. YouTube gave me 2 strikes and prevented me uploading the Christchurch shootings. Well, Raven, you shouldn't upload that. It's not I don't know. It's not nice. It's a horrible thing. I mean, she would share it privately with people, but I watched it once. I don't want to watch it again. Stephen, is Emu dead? I don't think so, but I think Rod Hull died, didn't he? You can't really have Rod Hull without Emu. Emu was a puppet. Crafty nihilist. Why do we always have the same old flat, round, square, trapezoid Earth conversation? Yeah, this shit is happening on. Yeah, okay. Well, maybe I'll skip over. If anyone talks about flat Earth, I'll let them talk amongst themselves. Crafty nihilist. Yeah. Emu lives, says Hunley. Kiwiland. Yeah. Yeah. Rod Hull did die, I think. Yeah. He was cool. He was. Moas went extinct in New Zealand, says Diego Rivera. That's right. A moa was like a big bird, a big flightless bird that was wiped out. So I'd like to have seen one of them because they were the world's biggest bird. I think they were bigger than the ostrich. Shame that, isn't it? It's like mammoths. I wish woolly mammoths were still alive. Blah de blah. Anthony Morn, there's nothing great about Great Britain. It's a fucking Rod Hull putting an aerial on his TV and fell off, did he? Oh. Rod Hull fell off his roof. Hiding from the TV license inspector. Rest in peace. May is a dirty pile of shit. Yes, she is. Julian Carver. Who cares what shape the Earth is? Yeah. What's going on this planet counts. Gab Dissenter illegal in... Yeah, Raven. I heard they blocked Gab and Dissenter. That's bad because these are like free speech platforms that were set up by Twitter refugees. So if they're blocking them, other countries can do it. I'm a member of Gab. I'm not on Dissenter, but I'm a member of Gab, and they're blocking it. I mean, that's bad. They can use this as an excuse for internet censorship. R.I.P. Rod sounds like a sex toy. Oh, Rudley. Yeah, Gab caused it for real on. They're blaming Gab. I mean, they blame Gab for that thing that synagogue shooting because the guy who went and did the synagogue shooting actually posted on Gab. What happened? Gab actually shut down for a couple of weeks. Do you remember? Because of that synagogue shooting, and they blamed it on Gab because this guy happened to post on Gab. And they're trying to blame 8chan and things like that, and they're blaming Gab for the shooting in New Zealand. Thing is, though, this guy when he did his shooting, the video was streamed live, and he streamed it on Facebook. So why don't they blame Facebook? Okay, I'm gonna have to skip a few of these because they're flat Earth comments. I'm gonna leave those now. Oh, fuck EU. Yeah, exactly. Where are we going? Right. I think, Stephen, you might be getting Emu mixed up with, Orville. What's his name? Orville and, what's the name of the guy who does Orville? I wish I could fly right up to the sky. Cosmic Claire. Donald Trump for PM, yeah. I actually said this to someone on Facebook. That when you finish with him as your president, could we have him as our prime minister, please? Yeah. Orville wears nappies. I remember Orville the duck, yeah. He's a national socialist, is he? Alchemy says, I am the man who's going to get Ben a baseball cap that's big enough for his head. Unfortunately, because of the size of my head, I'm a very conceited individual. These hats don't fit. But it fits all right, actually. But it's got like an adjustable strap at the back. It's actually not bad. It's not a bad fit, this MAGA hat. DJ Bootin, the Christchurch shooting is not fake, you know. And a cousin works in the hospital and there were lots of casualties. Yeah, there'd have been a major incident for that. No, I don't think he was a man. It's always possible, couldn't it? For Eleonora, I mean, they're trying to, could be staged to stop any criticism of Islam. I don't think it's staged, but of course, this is going to inflame the whole issue, which is what the man intended. It's in his manifesto. He says he wants to start a war, to trigger this war. Cosmic Claire says, hey, Ben, if you were a Ramona, Diego would become a Brexiteer. Same with Trump and the rest. Yeah, I think Diego is a little bit of, yes, he's a bit of a excrement stirrer, isn't he? Neil Desbrandam says, it looks like the Christchurch shoot was similar to Anders Breivik. Well, apparently they had connections to the same organisation, the New Templars or something it was called. Anthony Morn says, I love smoking weed, yeah. Stan Smith, hi Stan. NZ shootings were distract from Brexit, semi-automatic guns. Got at Prince Andrew off the front pages for shagging an underage girl. Is that right? Did he? I mean, I'm not sure that was the reason why it was staged, but of course, if something happens like that, they may take an opportunistic advantage of it. But is Prince Andrew been suspected of that? Hugo Roon, hi Hugo. John Lennon is not dead. It was a setup so he could disappear. Really? Really? Where is he then, Hugo? Is he on some island somewhere? Is he on? God knows. And Neptune says John Lennon was shot by the hotel doorman and not Chapman. Well, Chapman is very clearly mind controlled. You can tell by you listen, see him speaking. He's completely and utterly in a bubble. He has no awareness of the outside world. Lots of MI5 here, said Diego Rivera. I love our government. He must be the only one. JJB2, soon there will be a wank tax. Well, some could argue that the porn blocker is that. Yeah. Raven Precept. Anthony, I think he was fully aware of what he's doing. Very effective too. Yeah. By the way, I'm not going to give my ID for the porn thing. I'm not going to do that. I'll just watch Dr. Victoria Bateman a few times. Oh yeah. You won't have to watch her. Honestly, I was saying last time, right? Dr. Victoria Bateman. No one have even heard of this cow if she didn't pull this ridiculous stunt. She's like a streaker at a sporting event. I mean, this is the level. This is the lengths that the Ramonas are actually going to go to just to get noticed. It's pathetic. Oh, Raven. Yeah, he was fully aware of what he was doing. Corinthian Dog. I stopped masturbating because I lost my ID. Alchemy. The New Zealand shootings happened on the 74th day of the year. Oh, right. Is that interesting? That's interesting. Oh, you're talking about gematria. Excuse me. You were talking about gematria last time. Krakow, one tax, 1 quid. What do you? Oh, it's ridiculous, isn't it? And of course, it'll just be the start. Oh, right, here we go. Hang on, let's go down a bit. Oh, what's happening here? Have you seen the drone footage on my channel? Show no bomb went off. Drone. All right. Yeah, wank. I bet it'll be nicknamed that, won't it? It'll be bloody nicknamed the wank tax. But you don't have to pay, but you have to prove your ID, and it's ridiculous because only adults should be able to access those sites. But I mean, the parents who have children should be putting filters on the internet whenever they use them, and it's the parents' responsibility. Making the government treat us all like children is not the answer. I don't think the actual website's going to like it actually, because it's going to reduce their traffic so much, and their advertising and stuff like that. It's going to be a real villain aura. We'll have government inspector to check your jerk-offs next. What the fuck has happened to this country? Yes. They swatted a tropical fish hobbyist. They did, didn't they, Stephen? That was awful, that. He got swatted. In other words, armed police broke in. It's a sort of trick called swatting, where someone's on a live stream and they arrange they find out where this person lives and arrange for armed police to raid them by putting in a fake complaint. And well, none are coming through my door right now, but I hope none of you don't get any ideas, guys. Carrie Holtzman got swatted too. Neptune says NZ shooter was 100% declared leftist. I don't think he was. He had some leftist ideas, like he was in favour of some form of socialism, but only in the Nazi sense. I mean, he was very keen on white power and things like that. To me, he sounded like someone who's had he had some contact with the alt-right and it went to his head. That's what it sounds like to me. He just lost it a bit. And See, the thing is, just like with Tommy Robinson, because Tommy, like I said in the last live stream, Tommy Robinson has identified real issues, the grooming gangs and things like that. But then he doesn't understand the cause, the real cause. Diego Rivera, with all this censorship, something big is going to happen soon. Well, Diego, thank you very much for the first sensible comment you've made this evening. And I completely agree. Stephen, the favourite live streamers are gay gamers? Oh, Groove Dodger. Hello, Groove Dodger. I've seen the video of them setting the stage in NZ. Is it? Are they setting the stage? Gamers, yeah. I don't think it's a false flag. Diego, the internet will be shut down. Well, Diego, they can't actually completely shut down the internet. It's just too multifaceted. You'd have to uninvent the computer to shut the internet down completely. But they will, like, start putting restrictions on the World Wide Web, which will force us to use things such as peer-to-peer systems and the dark net and stuff like that. That definitely will happen at some point, but we'll get around it. This is why I'm a member of lots of these peer-to-peer and blockchain systems. Like I'm a member of Steemit, I'm a member of BitChute. All my videos now are uploaded onto BitChute. Brilliant. Corbyn sides with all terrorists. Well, you know, governments do. I think Jeremy Corbyn has been he's been singled out a little bit for this sort of thing. Like when he was negotiating with the IRA, all he did was what John Major did a few years later. And the government always does side with terrorists. I mean, look at what David Shayler says. Those terrorists who took over Libya were funded partly by MI5 and by the CIA. Hillary Clinton has effectively admitted this. Hunley, it's the new IRA's new school of hatred, black pillars. Vanya Patterson says the BBC says the IRA admitted to the package bombs that were sent a couple of days before this, and a soldier was charged for Bloody Sunday. I wonder if there's a connection with that. It's possible the IRA or the new IRA admitted that they probably may have confessed to the package bombs when they didn't actually do it. But the soldier being charged for Bloody Sunday is ridiculous. It's going to open up old wounds. I mean, the whole point of the Good Friday Agreement was that these things were put aside. This is why so many of these the killers were actually released from jail. The Ulster Loyalist killers and the IRA and the Republican killers, they were all released from jail. So why is a soldier being charged for an event that happened in 1972? Alchemy says, P.S. I'm only here because I'm banned from Facebook, Twitter, and instant flim flam. Well, Alchemy, you're always welcome here. I'm not going to ban you as long as you behave yourself. You've been civil so far. Diego Rivera, Corbyn is better than the rest. Well, I used to think that, Diego, but he's not. He's not. Yeah, they let the IRA out of jail, and so why not just leave it at that? I'm a bit suspicious how these things are all happening at the same time. I'm going for the D notice, says Alchemy. Stephen says it's practice for them. All right, let's just get some more dragon juice. One moment. Oh, play amongst yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I could fly right up to the sky, but I can't. You can. I can't. I wish I could do. I used to love Orville when I was a kid. I thought I used to love him. I had an Orville toy. Oh, hang on, I've spilled some water. Orville. Any of you watch the rugby? Wales got another Grand Slam, eh? Just like 2012 all over again, man. We're unstoppable. Bread of heaven, bread of heaven. Feed me till I want no more. All right, Corbyn's got cat shit in his beard, said Corinthian Dog. Well, he probably leaned down too far when he was changing the tray. Blah, blah, blah. Vrion says, I think if we'll pull out of the EU, they will send in the EU army. Well, Vrillon, were you here earlier when I was talking about this? You know there are 10,000 foreign troops on British soil at the moment for the exercise. Will it go live? Mark Gab, hi Mark Gab. Have you heard what Robin Tilbrook is doing about the extension of Article 50? No, what's he doing? Who is Robin Tilbrook? It's not that Hugh Jassol's guy again, is it? Hugh Jassol's MP. Is he going to come back into it? Hunley, by the way, if they're going to tax me for jerking off, they better send someone to do it for me. Yes. Oh. Alchemy says, what's this? Fuck me, Ben, you wanker. You mentioned every twat but me. I've mentioned you. Shut up. Don't be rude. I've mentioned you. I've mentioned you plenty of times. I might have skipped over. If I skip over when people go on about flat Earth all the time, I'm skipping those kinds of debates. Stephen says they've been talking about the EU army. Yes, Stephen. In fact, have you been following Caroline Stevens' show? I'm on her show again tomorrow night, Seeking the Truth. The actual EU army proposal was first suggested on the 24th of June 2016. They didn't mention it before then. You know why? Because they thought they were going to get a Remain vote in the referendum, and then they could go full steam ahead. They didn't count on a Leave vote, but they're talking about uniting the armed forces of the EU nations. But that includes Britain's nuclear deterrent. That's bloody scary. I'll tell you what, that gets us all killed. Raven Precept, I shot animals, and you sometimes get loads of blood and sometimes none. I do think that video's real. I do. Stan Smith, Corinthian dog, not cat shit, Diane Abbott shit. Well, you know that her and those two were on together, weren't they? Jeremy Corbyn and Diane Abbott. They were both young MPs in the early 80s. They had a fling. I'd accredit him with better taste. I really would. Alchemy says, I must be doing something right. I'm out of here. Bye. All right, Alchemy. See you then. Bye, you fucktards. Well, no one's hurting you, Alchemy. You've got free speech here, you know. Susan Hayward-Tonkin. Hi, Susan. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a nice morning. I'm so sorry Brexit is not working. I really thought you would all be liberated. Susan, it's always been at the back of my mind. Will it happen? Won't it happen? This is kind of what I expected, although there's a part of me that hoped it wouldn't be like this. So it remains to be seen. I mean, one way or another, I think we're going to win this one because the EU is going to implode. In a way, it may be better if Brexit is cancelled because the government will be utterly, utterly screwed if that happens, because that kind of honesty over something so malicious in politics is suicidal for the politicians saying it. And Raven Precept says it's going better than expected. Maybe. Get me a British passport, says Villanora. I'm not renewing mine till we leave. I've got my passport. I've got my new passport, but it's an EU one. But I want to get one of the new Brexit ones. I really do. Julian Carver says all conspiracy theories will be labelled Asperger's soon. I can see this bullshit coming down the line from the mainstream. Well, they do. There's already what is it? Schizotypal conspiracy believing disorder or something like that. It's got SCBD or something like that. It's got an acronym. They will pathologize us, and then we'll end up in the loony bin, and we'll end up on drugs. Hugo Roon says, Villan, or there's no such thing as a British passport, it's a UK passport. Goodness, Hugo, you really are pedantic. You know that. Villanora said, I was born in British Army on the Rhine. That makes me British. You were born on an army base. The thing is, you can be born abroad and not be a citizen of that country. My mum was born in Germany, but she's Dutch. She was Dutch. Groove Dodger says, look at history. Twitter accounts, there's a bit of them getting a position, applied fake blows. Looks like a false flag, was it? Jared B on Twitter. I've not seen that. How are we now? Alchemy's still here. OPS, crack is one hell of a drug. Bye. Oh, you're back again. Hugo says, Vrillon, yes, you are British. I am British, but there's no such thing as a British passport. Hugo, do you mean... What do you mean, Hugo? Sorry, I think you're onto something here, but I'm not sure what. Vanya, I've stopped right up on toilet roll and coffee. Is that, Vanya, is that your Brexit survival kit? Okay, but you realise you have to buy the zombie-killing guns separately. And the missile launcher to take out Godzilla. That has to be bought separately. Do not trust what people say on here, says Diego Rivera. Hugo Rune says, Vrillon, I was in that British Army on the Rhine, lol. Was he? Oh, right. So there was a base there. No, there were army bases there. That's right. Raven Precept. It'll be interesting if there really were any Manchester victims. Very important that we do find someone. Well, that's what Neil Desperandum was saying, that he knows someone who was involved, in which case that would be what Richard D. Hall was looking for. Coco Potato, hello. What is this chat? It's the chat of the live stream. Frillon says you lived there till 11. You were 11, yeah. Best plan: stuck up and tea, beans, peanut butter, and bog roll. Yeah. I don't. I'm stocked up on anything, I'm afraid. Hi, Coco. How are you? Hugo Rune. Frillon, yes, there used to be. I still have 2 old black and whites, one from the 70s and 80s. Was that you in the army, Hugo? Yeah. Frillon Aura, Paderborn, Dat mold, etc. Vanya Patterson, beans, tomatoes, chickpeas, and oxo, says Vanya Patterson. Oxo, all right, so you can make gravy. Yeah. Hugo Rune, Lipstadt, Dortmund, Byfield, lol. Vanya Patterson, lentil rice. Supermarkets were half empty last time. A bit of snow was predicted as Corinthian dog. Yeah. Oh, you can bet there'll be lots of panic buying, because the government are trying to scare us as much as possible over Brexit, right? So that this is why they're saying basically a no-deal Brexit means it's going to be like as bad as World War II, super gonorrhea, etc. Everyone's going to be going out and they're going to buy everything they can. But it's all bollocks. It's all rubbish. It's all Project Fear. Project Anthony Moore, 9/11. Yes, that was a false flag. Yes. Stephen says buy a water filter. Yeah. Canadian Prepper is a great YT channel, says Hunley. I was looking at Canadian Prepper because I think Stephen sent me a link to that, Hunley. I can't remember what it was about, but yeah. Vadia Patterson, once we're out of the EU, we can start eating properly again. Well, once Project Fear is over with and they realise it's not going to work, they'll just let it go. Diego, the people in the mosque aren't acting, I don't think. Vanya, before we join the EC, we are British. Manchester bombing was real, but the suicide bomb was mind control, says Stan Smith. That's possible, yeah. The grid turning off is a real possibility. Well, Corinthian Dog, if the grid turns off, they'll turn it off to scare us. They won't turn it off because of Brexit. All these problems associated with Brexit are not caused by Brexit. They're caused by the sabotage of Brexit. Kokoko says, I went to Target and I saw a toy called the J.R. Porter. Really? There's one named after me, is there? Anthony Moore, so have they got the nut who shot the Muslims? Yes, he's been arrested. He has been arrested. He's going to be tried. No electricity, no tap water. Oh, there's all kinds of things, Corinthian Dog. Plagues of rats, cheese being an occasional luxury, British aircraft not allowed to fly over Irish airspace. Oh, you name it. They'll say it's going to happen. I hope it doesn't bloody work. Hope people don't fall for it. All right, yeah, the manifesto is, it's called The Great Replacement. I've had to read through it. Yeah, how many? It's 59 people watching at the moment, Anthony, and that's good. Thanks for watching, everybody who's actually watching. What's this? Oh God, I was gone down to the bloody bottom again. Oh, on, go up again. Where have I got to? A beautiful Islamic wife with Mariam. That's an interesting. That's an interesting username. Beautiful Islamic life. A beautiful Islamic life with Mariam. Oh, hello, Mariam. Can I call you Mariam? Comrade Corbyn, says Villanora. Shooter said he was communist. Neptune, he was not a communist, but he was. what did he actually say? He says people ask him if he's a socialist, and he says no. He's got a list of everything. He has like a series of questions, like he anticipates people's questions. And he said he describes himself as a fascist who's very keen on Oswald Mosley. Diego Rivera, lots of pro-Israel MI5. Oh. Eco-fascist, that's what he said, Hunley, yeah. Like that Penty Linkler guy. Hello, Rab. Villanora. They say the Earth's not flat, you globalists, yeah. Log site 12. I am on Mindset Central. I was on today's show, didn't you see it? Mindset Central shut down for a while, but it started up again. I'm back on it. I'm not on every single show, but I do like every other show or so. Nino Brown, do you wear this hat outside? No, of course I don't wear it outside. I'd be beaten. I'd either be arrested by the police or I'd be beaten up by the Oxford anti-fascists. I will wear it. I'm definitely going to wear it when I go to London on the 29th for the protest. No, you can't wear these things on the street. Not even in Britain. I know. I think Cosmic Claire might wear hers, but it depends. Maybe some areas are different from others. I know in Oxford you'd never get away with it. There's too many SJWs around. Anthony Morton says, Ben, if I said the Earth is round, the Earth is round. It's not flat on the witch's tit. Yeah, the Earth is a frisbee in the universe of beach balls. Run out. Dadu says it's okay to be white. Goodness me, Run Out. That's controversial. It's not okay to be white. Remember, Crunchy and Dog. Ben should go do a GoFundMe to wear the hat through Tower Hamlets. Dog. What's the point of earning money if I'm not going to be alive to spend it? Rabana, hello. Hi, what's up? Anthony Bourne, the sun doesn't. Oh, I'm not going to answer. I'm afraid I'm not answering flat Earth questions or flat Earth comments. So Rabana speaking in what looks like Russian. I can't speak that. Sorry. Hunley, I'll have you know I've bonked a witch with nice. Oh right, really? Good for you. Spider 600, help me beef my new survey. It's a Discord server. I'm not on. I don't have a Discord account actually. All right. Ben thinks Orville and Emu are real, says Diego. I don't think. I used to like him when I was a kid. That's all. All right. I dissented on your stream, Ben. You can dissent all you like. You got a license for the hat, says Look. Oh my goodness me! It'll be a criminal offence to wear this hat soon. It really will. Hunley says she tried to put the mystic whammy on me, so I yeeted out of there. Well, you know, you got to be careful with witches. Gab is fine. Yeah, Gab is cool, actually. I mean, I don't agree with everyone on there, but it is free speech there. David Schultz says, greetings, Ben. Ed of the Outer Light on YouTube had an interesting take on the shooter. The Christchurch shooter is in New Zealand, is likely a Nab Datbol, National Bolshevik. All right. I'll check that out, David. I do know Ed of the Outer Light. I've heard of him. I think I subbed to him. Vermont Roy said, we need Viktor Orbán as PM. Well, yeah. I mean, Hungary is really standing up to these bastards. He really is. Diego Rivera says, Ben thinks Cuddles is the English Bigfoot. Cuddles was the monkey that was with Orville, I remember. Nihilist Lives Matter says, Sporty Spices Mossad. Oh, my God. IQ reducers, says Hugo Roon calls this. Really? Why is that? Hi, David. Dave Altman's there. Hi, Dave. How are you? Thanks for joining us. Crafty Nights. Night, Ben. This is late for us. See you second time. Yeah, it's what's the time now? 10:30. Oh, I hope I don't go as long as last time. Any sign of Cuddles the monkey? Used to go, I hate that duck. Talking about Orville. And I used to get really annoyed because I thought Cuddles was really mean because I thought Orville was really cute. What was Orville anyway? Was he an albatross or something? Wasn't a duck? Raven and Precept. Prince Andrew on the Lolita Express. What was he up to, Prince Andrew? Anthony Moore. Most of the royal family are paedophiles. Yeah. Hugo. A load of cannabis waste was dumped over a cliff onto a seabird colony. The police said they left no turn unstoned. Good one, Hugo. Very good. All right. Where are we? Dave, yeah, I've told her. I've given her your contact details. This is like a stuff about something, a conversation I was having with Dave. I'll PM you about that. But I did give her your contact details. It's up to her. She's a big girl now. It's up to her. She did say she'd get in touch with you. How do you get a witch pregnant? Hang on. Spell her name. All right. Ben, your alien has walked out. Charles. Oh my God, Charles is here. No, Russell's just over there. He's here, I swear. He was wearing this hat the other day. I posted a picture of him because he supports Trump for 2020, or Russell, you know. Fortnite Gear. Hello, Fortnite Gear. How are you? Hugo says, Ben, you need to vape some rosin. Do I? What will that do? Would that be The mice have also left, says Anthony. Charles declassified. Oh, and nice to see you using your Illuminati floor. You see the benefits of when you come on board, Ben. Oh, right, Charles. You're going to finally admit me to the Illuminati, are you? Just because I've got the same hairstyle as you. Oh, resin. All right. Where are we now? Oh, Illuminati floor. I made him an offer he couldn't refuse. Beetlejuice. Porn is why VPNs was invented. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be ways around these things for porn. If you really are desperate to look at a few twigs and berries, you can use a VPN to get around the filter, the national filter. Russell's gone to the local. Steve, yes. Well, he went there earlier and had a couple of pints, you know. What's this? Vanya Patterson. Ben, is that a unicorn duvet cover you have? No, it's not. It's not. It's just my usual one. I haven't made my bed. Sorry, it's a little bit messy. I should have done that before I went on to online. Anthony Bourne says, fake alien invasion in 2020. You know, the fake alien invasion, the last card, as Carol Rosin called it, they might well play it at some point if they think it's right. And we got to be there to give people a moment of pause. All right, I thought that's why the internet was invented for, and UFOs. Yeah, apart from porn, I think UFOs are the second most popular thing online. Diego Rivera says, Venezuela, Trump, Ben. Wrongly, this Venezuela things. Why are people so obsessed with Venezuela? Brilliant Aura, Disclosure 2020, Corey Good and the Blue Chicken, and yes. Corinthian Dog, I fapped over 7 of 9. I don't want to know, Corinthian Dog. That's... Vanya Pat says Jeremy Corbyn doesn't hide what he does. Yeah, he's completely taken the wrong course. That's the problem. Can't trust the political elite. No, you can't. Cosmic Claire, yes, Corbyn is a traitor. He's a traitor to his own lifelong beliefs. Yeah, Cosmic Claire. People forget how long Corbyn's been in politics. He's been an MP since about 1980. I think he was elected in 83, or he was 79 or 83. For almost all that time, he was part of the Eurosceptic left, along with Tony Benn. Then he becomes Labour leader and starts supporting the EU. Then, when it suits him after this split in the Labour Party, he now becomes a second referendum guy. I'm really disappointed in him. Very disappointed. Oh, where are we? Keith Harrison. Oh, Corbyn better than fake Trump, says Diego Rivera. Trump's not fake. Charles Declassified says, that's right, Ben. Just keep drinking that delicacy in the Order of the Dragon. Yeah, cheers. Villon, yeah, I like Charles's channel. Is pretty good. It's really funny. Longsight says the shooter has been manipulated by dark forces of the establishment. They could portray him as a white ring supremacist. They can point a finger at anti-government dissenters and criminals. Well, I think they're going to use what he did to point a finger at all kinds of people. Like I said, just what this guy did, he was completely. It sounds to me like he was acting completely alone for his own personal motivations. But he's been used to demonize PewDiePie, Brexiteers, Trump, everyone. Oh, Hugh Jassol's has come back again, has he? Hugh Jassol's MP, yes. Julian Carver, your dad said, well done, yes. Grand Slam, mate. Well done, the Wales rugby team. Charles Declassified says, Vrillon, the Illuminati, thanks you. Your check's in the mail. Franny says, I've just said to my partner that you're at the EA UFO Society Newmarket next month. We should come and see you, Ben. Oh, please do, Vanya. Both of you, yeah. I'm speaking, in what day is it? It's April the 15th, I believe. Yes, April the 15th, the East Anglia UFO group. The details are on her Panamo Voice if anyone wants to look it up. It'll be a good one, I think. It'll be a good one. Anthony Morning, you do a live chat on the flat Earth, then everyone will talk about Brexit. Yes. I did a radio show about the flat Earth by popular request, actually, a Panamo show. Vrillon Aura said the French will be in control of our nukes. I know. Well, it won't be the French, it'll be the bloody EU. Flat Brexit or globe Brexit, says Raven Priest. Brexit in transit till 2099. Oh, Andrew Munchkin. Hi, Andrew. Can you call in the live show tonight? The live show tonight. We'd like to know what your Brexits are doing over. We do not know. I'm sorry. What's the twisted truth? Could you give me? I'd love to be on your show, Andrew. But could you write to me and maybe we can give us a bit more notice? I'm a bit tired actually, but at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that'll be like midnight, won't it, or 1 in the morning? So I've got to go to work tomorrow. I'm sorry, but let me know in advance. I'll be on your show. Rothschild, Freemason, Mossad, says Diego about Andrew. Thanks for your interest. I would like to. Luke Griffin, Bruce Willis was born in Germany. Right. Conspiracy. Longsight says conspiracy theory will be deemed a criminal subject. What's this? Stealing vids is just hurling abuse randomly. I don't know why, but I'm not going to publish those comments. Vrillon Aura, I might start selling Brexit survival kits. 1 gas mask, 1 NBC suit, 10 toilet rolls, 100 tea bags. Yes, Vrillon, perhaps you could include the zombie killing gun. Then your Brexit survival kit will be better than anyone else's. Because when the dead rise from the grave after a no-deal Brexit, you've got to know how to shoot them in the right place. Ben's well stocked with tin foil. Yes, Corinthian dog. I'm actually converting that into a Faraday cage for my smart meter. Oh, it's gone to the bottom again. Right, here we go. Where are we? Andrew Munchkin, you get 10 minutes. Mike answers, what's your name, where are you from, what's on your mind? Then you had 10 minutes to spill the beans. Andrew, I would like to be on your show at some point. I can't right now, I'm sorry. Line that MAGA hat with tin foil, yes. And Hugo, well, during my army time, I had an ID card. I left the army in 1979, got a black British passport in 78. I remember those, Hugo. My first passport was like that. Second one, 1983, that changed to UK passports. What's the difference between UK and British? I mean, I know you're I think you're saying there's some kind of difference. Charles Declassified, Project Fear, that was one of mine. Just thought you should know. Yeah, well, I did think it had the Charles stamp on it, I really did think it did. Charles is the kind of guy, like, if we're in a New Deal Brexit and your kids can't go on a skiing holiday in Switzerland, you got to decide which one goes and which one stays. It's a dog-eat-dog world, man. The other one's going to have to go to Blackpool instead. Yeah. Right. You could get 1-year passports. Yeah, I remember those. You get like little card passports. I remember those. Yeah. I have one made after me too, Charles, but I sell it in Harrods, not a pound store. Oh, right. Or an eco-fascist is somebody who basically believes in a fascist state to solve all the world's problems. There's a guy called Pentti Linkola, I think was the original eco-fascist. He said all cities should be nuked and everyone should ride around on bicycles. He was this Finnish guy. Dave Altman, you can't wear that hat there. Crazy. Well, Dave, if I know in America you could get attacked wearing these things. And Claire says I wouldn't wear it in the street, but I did wear it in a Ramona heavy debate one year, and that was just fun. I remember that, Claire, because you sent me the audio I thought it was quite amusing. I mean, I might wear it I'm going to wear it in London at the protest. I might wear it occasionally to trigger people the way you do. But definitely, you know. Longsight, yes, Mindset Central is back. And I'm on some of the shows, yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Longsight. Go and check it out. It is back now. It is back. Oh, where are we? Charles says, that's correct. They bomb your towel. Give you a dustpan and brush as an apology. Yeah. Hi, Dave. Oh, Dave, you're here. Yeah. Dave, I still haven't watched episode 10 of Project Blue Book. I'm going to save that for. I might watch it when I get back from Probe, but I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Villanova, what's going to happen on 3/22? What's that? Is that March 2022? I don't know. Is there something likely to happen then? Longsight. Oh, great. Nice one, Longsight. You've subscribed back to Mindset. There's loads of new shows on there, so check them out. Anthony Morn, I'll see you then. Take it easy. Bye, Anthony. Listen, who's this? Make me a mod so I can boot this guy. Which one? Oh, I'll get rid of him. Don't worry, I'll get rid of this. All right, I'm just going to block somebody. Hang on. Remove. There we go. I'm just getting rid of him, Dave. Don't worry. All right. Shut up, Christ, or you're an idiot. You're a troll. Oh. Prince Andrew was having sex with a 15-year-old girl, but it was only in the media for one day. All right. Corinthian Dog says, my dog's gay. Is he? Oh, right. Well, I know some dogs are. My friend Barry had a dog that was gay. It was a bitch. She was a lesbian. They wanted to breed her, but she was only interested in other bitches. John Nolan, hello. They will set up a dissenter and put everything on hold for a disaster. Yeah, John, it may be something like that. Yeah, it may be something big enough to. It could just really nuke the whole situation. It may literally be a nuke. They'll do something like that. Definitely. Charles declares Tor browser. Yeah, Charles. I mean, they can't get rid of the dark web, can they? Hugo Rune says baseball caps are IQ reducers. When worn backwards, it's double. Worn sideways, it's like, oh, really? I just looks idiot. It looks stupid. I do that. I got to do that. Yeah. Scary stuff. Prince Andrew's friendly with Jeffrey Epstein. Oh. Excuse me. Order of the Dragon, and that's Chinese Illuminati. I'm not one of them, Vrillon. Newmarket. It's in Newmarket, Vrillon. Do go there, Vrillon. It'd be good to see you, mate. It really would. Where are we? Right. Oh, Charles, am I one of your sleepers and I don't know it? Yeah. But that's the dragon juice, yeah. Now, black goo, I have that one before I go to bed. I've got a little spoonful of that before I go to bed. Paige, hello. They'll be regulating your porn. Discuss. Well, I think it's silly. I think it's a spoil sport thing. And it's treating us like kids. I know the feminists will be all for it, and of course, it's just the first step towards more and more of these controls, definitely. Corinthian Dog, Bruce Vermack, I don't know who that is. Charles Nicholas, brewed by us, more like Soylent Green, made the same way. Okay, Ben, yes, we accept you into the Illuminati. Just to piss off Richard Dior. Yeah. Illuminati. It's got. Ben, you must wear your yellow jacket with your red hat. I will, Julian, when I go to London, definitely. What's the march about in London, said Vanya? It's the Brexit. On the 29th, there's going to be a Brexit protest. It was going to be a celebration. It's looking more like it's going to be some kind of protest now. And that's what it's going to be. And if you just put in Brexit protest 29th of March, London, you'll find it. David Schultz. See you, David. Take care. I'm going to finish in a minute, actually, because I'm at the end. Hello, David. How are you? Hi, Sorenable. Greetings. How are you? Charles D. Classified versus Corinthia. We're offering membership to Hall, but he refused on the grounds that he would have to do a video exposing his duplicity. TK, hello TK. The aliens have made Brexit. Well, good for the bloody aliens, that's it. Neptune, Ben is in one room of his 87-room mansion. Oh, yes, Neptune. You know what? These Rothschilds pay me to spread this information. It's really amazing. How are you guys? Anyway, I'm actually at the end now. I've come to the end of the comments section. I'm going to call it a night, I think. There's still 58 people watching, but I don't want to go on till, what was it, nearly midnight last time, wasn't it? Last Wednesday. But I'll tell you what's coming up. I'll be uploading my video about my trip to the Extinction Rebellion. That's what I did on Thursday. And there's going to be another live stream about the Brexit situation. Okay, so keep an eye on the channel, because there'll be something about there'll be some more. There's going to be an update on the Brexit situation for sure next week, and I'll be doing another live. My nose is itching. Neptune, you want me to keep going? Oh, Brexit will cause yellow vests to appear in large numbers. Yeah, David, mine will be one of them. TK, you're in bed too. I'll be going to bed soon, I think. Night, Steve. Night, Raven, and thank you very much for watching. Good night, Raven. Good night, Luke. Hugo Rune. Oh, I've just skinned up. Night, Ben. All right, Hugo, have a good puff. Thanks, Claire. Thank you very much. Thank you for posting. Thank you, DJ. Night. Keep your eye on the channel, because there will be another live stream. Good night, John boys. Fanny Patson. Bye, Neptune. See you, Raven. It's been good fun. Yep, there'll be another live stream soon, because probably I'm going to go to the Probe conference on Friday. Do you want me to do another reportage? I would keep saying I'm not going to do any more. Do you want me to do another one? I'm going to the Probe conference. All right, Dave, I will see you next time. It'll probably be 9 p.m. again. Sweet dreams, Vanya. And I'll be doing an update, yeah. Night, Grandpa. You guys are great. I appreciate everyone who has watched, all of you. And night. Bye, Sorenable. And for everyone who's posted in the chat, I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys in the chat. Definitely not. So thank you very much, all of you. It's been really, really good. Bye-bye. Bye, Sorenable. Okay, then. Well, this is Ben Emlyn Jones signing off. Goodbye, Charles. Take it easy, mate. Keep polishing that head of yours. And take care. So farewell. And thank you all very, very much indeed. See you for the next installment. And keep watching the channel for more videos.